Say the Abbas. This is going on Mariv. This is Motzei Shabbos. Ma'achin lo yisrael kidei lo yisrael mechol al kodesh. You ma'achir the Shabbos to be moisei mechol al kodesh. The Omer Rabbi Yossi. This is Rabbi Yossi from Masechet Shabbos. Is Kuf Yud Ches. Yehei chelki imoid siye Shabbos b'tzipoiri. I should be among those who make Shabbos Havdalah or Shabbos b'tzipoiri. Tzipoiri Yoshevet B'ha. It's up on the mountain. Because you're up on the mountain, the Shabbos is longer. Why is the Shabbos longer when you're up on the mountain? Because you see the sun longer. When you're up on the mountain, you could see past the horizon, and you see the sun for a longer time than if you're in Tveria, which is by the seaside. So you should be amongst those who make Motzei Shabbos in Tzipoire. And that's Moisei Michol ala Kodesh, because you're making the Shabbos longer, because you're making the Shabbos in Tzipoire, where you can see the sun longer. You see the sun longer, it's more Shabbos, but that's a din of Michol ala Kodesh. This is the Torah puts into the Gemara. And the Gemara itself, I'll soon read the Gemara does not say that. So much so, that Bach, where you machin tuva melasis melocha, half of it mutter min adin. It's the mutter min adin. Why is it mutter min adin? In other words, you don't have to wait till the zman of Tzipoy, which is up on the mountain, the extra time that it takes you to see the sun go away. You really could use the zman of Tveya. Tveya is a few minutes earlier, because the Shabbos goes away earlier. And Tveya, you see the sun sets right away, you don't see anything more. Up on the mountain, you can see past the horizon, you can see down. So here, and the Mechaber, the Torah is saying that, Kedei lo hoyseh michol al kodesh. And Shabbos, we know that's not a denaisa, it's only the Rabbanon. As I learned the Torah. Yeah? The Gemara itself, Kuf Yud Ches, Amar Rabbi Yossi, Yehei chelki mechnise Shabbos b'Tveya, u'moitzoi Shabbos b'Tzipoiri. Why? The Gemara doesn't say Mesiv Mechal HaKodesh. Change the Gemara. Now, what's the distance between Tzipoiri and Tveya? Is it in the Tchum or is it not in the Tchum? Can you be in both places at a time? The Gemara is saying over here, Yehei chelki mechnise Shabbos b'Tveya, u'moitzoi Shabbos b'Tzipoiri. Is the same Shabbos, the same person? Zog the Gilyon HaShas, the B'Kivega. Ri Megash, he brings the Ri Megash, the Chuvas Ri Megash, Simen Mem Hei Beis, Yi Chelki, Hainu, Im Oisam Shebetchila Shabbos Heim B'Tveya. Rabbi Yossi is saying he should be amongst those that they start the Shabbos in Tveya, which is again by the seaside. U'Bafuka Yoime, Motzei Shabbos, they go to Tzipoire. Ki Tveya b'Tzipoire, Toich Tchum Echad, U'Mekadmi U'Ma'achir Shabbos. Ad kan Loshen Abkivega. What should I do, Rabbi? What should I do, Abkivega? The same person, what? Well, look, the same person, he's in Tzipoire, and in Tveya, he walks from Tveya to Tzipoire, he's Mekabel Shabbos in Tveya. Was? Mit was? Bogen. Okay, das ist nicht der Wort. Der Wort ist, Abkiyah ist auf Mekenga. Es ist ein Tchum. Es ist Teuch Tchum, Mekenga. Teuch Tchum, yeah. Teuch Tchum. Mekenga, so you could go, right? Now, what does the Abkiyah want? So Rabbi Yossi says, Yi chelki imohem, I should, what's the pshat? What do you want to do? So the Torah says you do this, why? More Shabbos. Everybody knows, most of Shabbos, we make Shabbos 18 minutes before, over in Yerushalayim, they make it more than that. Everybody has to make more Shabbos. That's only the Rabbanon on the Shabbos. Kippur is a deraisa. But the B'Kiyeg is not learning like that. The B'Kiyeg is saying that Yi Chelki If he wants to keep more Shabbos, he can stick in Tveria and just wait. Once the Shabbos, say, okay, the sun went down, I'll make Abdullah an hour later. What's the problem? What do I have to go to the Tchum? What do I have to go to Tzipori for? If the whole idea is just to keep it the Rabbanan Moisef Chal Shabbos, you could be in Tveria. Elamai, there was what Rabbi Yossi saying, that they want to have a longer Shabbos than Isa. Not a Rabbanan that are Moisef on the Shabbos. He should be able to be Ma'abed the Shabbos. He's not an aggressive Shabbos. How's it a bigger Shabbos? If you yourself go walk from Tveria and you walk now to Tzipori, it's a bigger Shabbos than Isa. Das steht da. Now, ich bin gerecht. Mit Pashas hat wohl noch that's the pshat. So, what makes the Shabbos? The Yis HaShemesh. Because in Tveria you don't see the sun anymore. On Friday afternoon you don't see the sun, so Shabbos starts earlier. But if you walk up the hill from Tveria and all of a sudden you're on the mountain and you see the sun, so the Shabbos is starting later. And it's going to go out later. What's the Shabbos? Zet man doch von dem, as was, that the Shabbos starts when you don't see the sun, and it ends when you don't see the sun anymore. So steht da. So this he was saying, Yosef, talking about the airplanes. When we have this manim now, we have this manim in the airplanes, right? Now by Rosenberg, the owner of El Al, put it on the airplanes. Now you can see exactly when is the Shkia, Sakama, when all this manim are, because it's going with the airplane. Okay, he's not talking about Shabbos. He's not dealing with the Shabbos. But if you deal with the Shabbos, I hope not, right? You're not dealing with Shabbos. Oh. So, Madame, Rabbi say, ich will fragen für Madame Akasha. Das allein ist schon ein größer Chiddush. I think so. The number one, you see that there's such a thing, the Shabbos starting early and later, which depends on what latitude you are. What latitude you're up and down on the mountain. Are you higher or are you lower? That's to me a pretty big Chiddush. Somebody told me over Shlomo Zalman, that he asked somebody came back from America, did you see the Twin Towers? He said, yeah, I saw the Twin Towers. He said, do you know that there's a different Shabbos on the top of the building and on the bottom of the building? Das ist der Gemeinde. Ich meine, das ist der Gemeinde. He meant to say, because you're up on the mountain, the Shabbos starts later. You're up on the building on the 100th floor, it starts something later. Now with this Svara, I want to answer a Tosfos Kasha on Rashi. The Rashi holds like this, and there's a Kasha like this. The Gemara says in Shabbos in Kuf Yud Ches, when is Ben Hashmoshes? Ben Hashmoshes is Kol Zman Shepnei Mizrach Madimim. The sun sets in the west, and Kol Zman Shepnei Mizrach Madimim, that you see the rays of the sun on the eastern walls of the city, then the Shabbos is still here. The day is still here. It doesn't go away. Zok Rashi, Yechnise Shabbos b'Tveria, Zok Rashi b'nei shuhu amuka u'machsheches b'oid yoim b'svuin shecheshecha. Moitzei Shabbos z'poidim sheshev b'roi shahar u'boid k'shacham shekas nilis shom or godel. So you see that Rashi is going like this, like he's saying, if the pshat is the Shabbos comes and goes, he's learning like the going in the same pshat. In Rashi, he learns that it comes according to what you see and what you don't see of the sun. And the Gemara here says, Ezu ben Hashmoshes, Mizdishka Achama, Kol Zman Shepnei Mizrach Madimim. So you see that's totally in the rays of the sun. So Tosfos says, the Kashi, the Gemara is, what's the nafkamina? Ben Hashmoshes is Sofik Yoim, Sofik Laila, Sofik Yom Laila. Zok the Gemara, what's the nafkamina? The nafkamina is by Zovah. If a woman sees 3 times, she has to bring a korban. She sees only 2 times, only doesn't have to bring a korban. So Tosfos says, but Rashi, when is the Gemara? She saw the whole Ben Hashmoshes Sunday, and the whole Ben Hashmoshes Monday. So that's the Sofik Yom, 3 days. Yom Laila. Right, Tosfos, it can't be. If she saw the entire Ben Hashmoshes on Sunday, and that's Yom, so that Monday is the same thing. It can only be 2. It cannot be a different day. If it's the whole Ben Hashmoshes, Elamai Tosfos learned, she didn't see the whole Ben Hashmoshes. She saw part of the Ben Hashmoshes on one day, and part of the Ben Hashmoshes the other day. Oh, but how could it be that Sunday, the whole Ben Hashmoshes was seen she saw a whole Ben Hashmoshe, and Monday she saw the whole Ben Hashmoshe. How could it be a different day? How could it be 3 Sveikas? We can design. So the Teres is by Yisayim, Ken Zayim, as Rashi like to avoid over here, that it's talking Kol Mash B'nei Mizrach Madimim Ba'ovim. What says Ba'ovim? What's the Rashi Ba'ovim? In other words, if you don't see the sun rays because you're up on the mountain, you see it longer, and if you're down in the mountain, it's the same longitude, the same space, because you're up on a building. I put up a building right over here, I go 300 floors up. So I see the sun later. I didn't move. Right next to me, I put up a building. So the Shabbos is a different Shabbos, because I see it. So because you see it, that's what it is. And if you don't see, it's nire be'ovim, sagt Rashi, wie bald auf See ist nicht, because it's verwolkend, it's an anderer Tag. You don't see anymore. Nicht that you could see it. If you don't see it, it's an anderer Tag. So Rashi says, be'ovim. Be'ovim. In the Wolken. Be'ovim. It says Azoi, but if there's no, it's Madimim. So when is it Madimim? If you see it. But if you don't see it, it's not Madimim.
Why wouldn't you see it?
Because it's Verwolkend.
The oven is that the oven Madimim?
Yeah, but if there's Ovim, then you don't see.
You don't see it.
You don't see it. Bezat is nicht. Bezat nicht is un. But that is then. What's the difference? I'm standing in Tzipori. What is Tzipori? Because Tzipori happens to be a way I go up to see it, right? Let's say I'm standing here in Tveria, and I put up a mountain in Tveria. I put up a big mountain, a big building, 300 floors, Tzipori. Shabbos is later, days later. Why? Because you don't see it anymore. So if it's B'ovim, so Sunday and Monday could be a different Zman. If Sunday and Monday could be a different Zman, so maybe it's for Rashi. Rashi holds that Sunday is one Zman, and Monday is a different Zman. There's a Bekirege sagt this in Umfang in Yeridea. There's a story there in the north, all the way north. What's it called? The North Light. The North Light it has a Metzias, we're not so bekannt. After Tzeisel Kechavim bring the Mechaber a story that it was Tzeisel Kechavim and the Shemaim, the Rikiya lit up Kitzarayim, I think in the middle of the day, and it was Friday night. And the baby was born after Tzeisel Kechavim, and now all of a sudden the sky lit up. So is this a Shabbos Dike Bris or not a Shabbos Dike Bris? What's the Shaila? The Shaila is now, what makes the day? Tzeisel Kechavim, the Pshat, is HaSibit, it's HaSimen. So B'chon declares this, and Umfang Psachim, B'chon declares this. So if you say that the Kechavim is a Sibit, that's Goyim, so just because now it became light doesn't mean anything. It says Kechavim, it's Kechavim, Nochtei Kechavim, that's it. But if you say it's only a Siman, so now the Siman is not working, because now you see it became day. A Kaponim was always banging for them. I wanted to bring out this point. Minus is Ashita from Rashi Haldazai, that Shabbos Mesach, if I see the sun, if I don't see the sun. If I don't see the sun on Friday, that's Shabbos. And if I do see the sun, that's not on the Shabbos. A Kaponim, a Chafam, a Kain gewesen, die Yosef Oim, ist mechanisch wie eine Psazah. Absanai Zach, and Totzatim mit Snow Shabbos. I don't know if it's negated to the under the Tefillas. There's a Shabbos digitin, the Ben Hashmos for Shabbos. I don't know if it's negated for airplanes, the under the Zmanim. Kaponim Devish will helfen that the Tata der Ameris Yoishe, for jedem einen, für die ganzen Sprüche, für alle Nilben Olov, und dann Ameris Yoishe, jeder ein geholfen werden, wo darf, wenn darf, wie darf, wie darf. And the Zeichen sein zu sein, Bekur b'Yemeni, Yigol Tzedek, and Yeshiyas and Yefiyas, for Kol HaKlal Yisrael. Shkoyach.